Hey, everybody, welcome in to happy 4th of July. If anybody's out there in the States, I know there's a few NHL hockey news. You're out in the States. Yeah, happy 4th of July. I'm wearing my USA hat. I'm American by birth, but I'm a dual citizen. I've been living here. My parents are both from Montreal, so I got my Canadian citizenship automatically. But I've been here. I'm 57, so I think actually on the second. What are we? 2 days ago was 53 years. Yeah, I arrived here July 2nd, 1967, and I've been here ever since. So let's see here. NHL hockey news. I saw Zachary's here. I see Wolf Beans the third. John Weichel, Sport King. All right, got a mod in the room. Hey, Sport King. I don't see you often, but nice to see you in here. And Veedam. Hey, Veedam. Oh my God, Veedam. I was thinking about you the other day, as a matter of fact, and there you are. No word of a lie. I think it was last week. I was thinking, oh my God, I haven't seen Veedam. I hope he's okay. And boom, here you are. I hope you're okay, buddy. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate that. MJ, how's it going? So this is a nice startup. 7 people in the room to start up. Things are looking up. How was my Canada Day? Was good, actually. I enjoyed it. I spent the day with my ex-wife and my kids, and yeah, I had a good time. I did a little bit of work in the morning, and yeah, it was a nice Canada Day. For all you Canadians, I hope you all had the same thing, a nice Canada Day. Lee Max is in the room. Oh, wait a second now. Okay, let me get down there. David Robinson. Hi, guys. Thanks for coming in. Veedam, you had corona. Wow. So how long are you recovered from it? I'm glad you recovered. Wolverine also had it. It's crazy. I just found out a woman around here a couple months ago, an older woman passed away in my area here in all the apartment buildings. Ryan is in the room, well, from Nashville. Yeah, it's 4th of July. Well, Veedam, I'm really glad you're feeling better. I'm going to assume you're feeling better. You're in the room. You must be feeling a little better. And I'm really happy for that. So, yeah, it's scary shit, right? It's really scary. Desjardins Latalek. Hey, buddy, how's it going? We get Lafreniere. You think we make the playoffs? You know, within a short period of time, it might not be the first year, but I think Lafreniere answers a lot of questions. But you know, one player doesn't get you to the playoffs, but he's going to get you a long way there. What did I do for Canada Day? No, I stayed home. Well, I stayed home for the morning. I put up a video. I went to my ex-wife's like I normally do. 2 of my boys live there. My middle boy lives in LaSalle, which is another suburb here. So we haven't seen him in a while. We talk all the time, but so yeah, I spent the day there, and then came back home and I watched a little bit of my shows that I like to watch, and that's a nice quiet Canada Day. So I hope everybody had the same, a nice Canada Day. And for you Americans, fellow Americans, my fellow Americans, yeah, I hope you're having a good 4th of July. Hope you're keeping safe. I see some pictures of what's going on out there, and I don't know. I just feel I'm worried about my fellow Americans right now. Let me see, where am I? Even if we don't get first overall, we will still get an amazing video. Yeah, well, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to the announcement. Either way, we're going to get a good pick. We get a lot of excitement to the build-up. Hopefully, it won't be a disappointment. And yeah, you know, all you can ask for is to be in the running, and that's all you can ask for. If we don't get, wait a second, I missed one. Wait, go Leafs, go! Zachary is a Leafs fan. That's cool, and the Habs are good, but I don't like them. Not a problem. But what I do like is that you like to come into the room and you come and take part here, and that's cool. And listen, see, Zachary's a Leafs fan. If anyone would say that, I'm not a Leafs fan, obviously. But see, a Leafs fan comes into the room, and we get along fine, and everything's good. So I like that. if we don't get first pick, do we get ninth? Well, that all depends. If they lose to Pittsburgh, then yes, we get ninth. If they beat Pittsburgh, then no, we get a different pick. Could be 16th. It could be higher up. It depends on what they do, what happens. But yeah, if we lose to Pittsburgh and we don't get the first one, we'll get the ninth pick. Sports King has a feeling the Stanley Cup won't be handed out this year. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with it. I think the NHL really has to do this. I think the players need to do this. And if you want to know why, I think the hockey guy really did a very good video. I just watched it 10 minutes before the stream, and he talks about exactly that. I think he makes some really good points about why this needs to happen or the attempt needs to be made. And I don't think I could say it any better than he did. And yeah, I still tend to agree with you that unless that bubble that they're put in for the Hubs is really super effective, yeah, I'm worried about it. Let's put it that way. Definitely. Video prospect. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna do video anyway. I was hoping you were talking about my video NHL, but yeah, we're gonna get a good prospect if we get a ninth pick. And I'll tell you the truth, even if we get 16th, we'll get a pretty decent prospect. So yeah, anywhere beyond that, there's a couple of picks. Honestly, I did a video about where they might pick in the first round and who they might get in there. And I'll tell you what, if they win the cup and they're the 31st pick, I like the guy that they could get there, Jacob Perreault. I kind of like him. He's a local kid, and it wouldn't be that bad either. Vidum says he's okay. Thanks anyway. Slovakia is still best on it out of all the countries in Europe. Awesome. That's great. In Canada, we're doing unbelievable. That curve has knocked down, and hopefully we don't get too big of a second wave or an increase because of the summer people are out more. Let's hope not. Keep my fingers crossed. Only about 2,000 total positive from like 1 million tested. And unfortunately, I was one of them. Yeah, listen, that's unfortunate. That is true. And listen, those numbers sound amazing. So keep safe still, because don't think that you're free and clear, because if people are getting it a second time, beat them. So wear that mask, keep safe, and keep distance, because you don't want to get it a second time. I've heard people who get it a second time get it a little harder. Doesn't sound promising to me. And apparently there's a new strain of it out there. So yeah, it's not looking good. So the best thing is to keep safe. Wear a mask when you're going to be in contact with people. To me, that's the best thing to do. Keep washing your hands regularly, so keep the hands clean. And that way, if you do touch your face, your hands are clean. Keep sanitizer with you so you can keep them clean, those kind of things. Now, NHL, I would love Holtz, Sanderson, or Lundell if available if we don't get first overall. Yeah, I think those are very realistic choices of the guys. The one I've got a really big question mark around is Sanderson, but it's not because is he going to be good enough to pick? But I have this, if you watch my videos, and I know NHL you do, there's so much talk about him shooting up, like him rising. So I have a feeling he's going to go before we get a shot at him, but I'm hoping he's available. But I think either one, Holtz is a goal scorer, is a sniper. We can use more of those. Sanderson is that big, good, solid skating defenseman who has offense and plays good defense. I mean, we can use that. And Lundell is just a good, solid, all-around player where the only reason I think he could drop is because, and this is what they say about him, is that he's good at everything, but nothing is the best, right? So he's just one of those good all-around players, and he could, he's not as noticeable for scouts, but he's going to be a great player to have here. So, yeah, we can't really go wrong. Okay, so it's starting to happen. So, listen, I'm not going to scroll up and down because I get screwed up. So, if I missed a comment, just retype it and I'll get to it, or take a super chat, and that supports the channel, and it's as low as 99 cents, and it's highlighted, and I will see it, and that's the options. A lot of contact. I have a feeling there won't be. No, there won't be much contact. I don't know exactly the extent of them keeping players away, like with checking and all, I don't know. But I don't expect there'll be a hell of a lot of contact like we're used to. Therefore, creates a lot of open space. It creates a lot of open space for small players to take advantage of. And you might be surprised that the teams that do well might not be St. Louis with the big team. It might be a team with smaller players. And I'm not necessarily talking about Montreal, but a team like Montreal, could really do well here because of that. Hey, David, how's it going? David, tomorrow I'm going to the store and I'm going to be sending out your thing. So look for it. I will send you an email to confirm that it's on the way. Just I'm saying I'm going tomorrow. Oh, okay, I missed one. Should we pick D instead of forward? I think it's the best player available, but I've got to tell you, if Sanderson, look, Drysdale's not going to be there. If Sanderson doesn't rise, he should be there or has a good chance to be where we're going to pick if we're not getting first. I personally, if it's me, I think I go with Sanderson. He answers a lot of the problems that we have, and he'll be ready. And I can imagine on the left side, Romanov and Sanderson 1 and 2. Oh my God, I don't know if you turn that down, because there's a lot of people and a lot of scouts and stuff. They're really high on Sanderson now. He's rising, and they're saying he could go ahead of Drysdale depending on, the person picking. Vito, I was actually in our regional newspaper. That was big. Oh, really? Currently the only one who was positive in our region. Wow, that's not something you really want to. It's not something you really want to have happen. But it's you get famous. You never know how, right? In the capital, yeah. Well, when you're around crowds, and it probably indoors. If you ate in a restaurant or something like that, more than likely that's where you got it from. NHL, I need to do a video on where realistically to draft Sanderson. Yeah, it's really hard to tell because, like I said, if you go from say as much as a little over a month ago, he was probably somewhere around 12th, 10th to 12th. And if you go by now, I say he's already at least looking about 8th or 9th. And I think some people have him as high as 4th. I've seen it. I don't know if they're people who really know. Some of them are. I mean, I've seen some good people that I like anyway that have him going higher. So, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be tough to figure that one out. I'm going to have to wait and see. Zachary is at the cottage. I wish I had a cottage to go to. I would like to go to the cottage and spend some of the summer by the water somewhere. It would be nice. John Weichel, can AHL players play in the playoffs? Yes, they can. They have to be on the taxi squad. There's going to be an expanded roster, and there will be a taxi squad of players that can be added to that roster if there's injuries. And I believe it's going to be either 28 or 30 that they're going to expand the roster to. So, yes, there are going to be especially if there are injuries to some teams, and there's going to be injuries. There are going to be some AHL players that get to play. All right, David. So look out for that. But like I said, I'll send you an email to let you know that it's on the way. This old helmet. Hey, buddy, how's it going? This isn't about old military helmets, is it? No, it's definitely not. It's about hockey. Where could Askarov go, and which team? Your thoughts? Well, I think ideally, most people are thinking Chicago. I still am of the thought that Ottawa could really use him. Will they do that? They have a really good opportunity to pick up probably like a top forward and the best defenseman in the draft. I don't know if they're going to go for Askarov. If he's not here tonight, Jeff. So Fedgehead, if Fedgehead was here, he'd tell you Montreal should pick Askarov because they should trade Price and Primo. I'm not really of that mind either, but I really think that Chicago's a really good spot that they might take him. And that would be what? We're 9th. That would be 10th, I guess. I would expect by 12th he's going to go. I don't see him going that far past 12th. Captain America. wow, perfect night on 4th of July. Is that what brings you in? Hello, I hope we can either get Lafreniere at number 1 or Sanderson at 9. Would love to see that. And by the way, would you possibly trade for Buffalo's pick? I heard rumors of that getting traded. You know, funny, depending on what Buffalo would get for that pick, I don't know if I were Buffalo, I would do that. But yeah, I was just talking about it. So Sanderson is the guy I want, if possible. That's for sure. So we're in agreement right there. So yeah, I think that it's going to be Lafreniere if they get first. That's not a wonder of who they're going to get there. At 9, it depends if Sanderson is still around. I think Rossi could be there. Holtz, Lundell. I think these are good options there. But I don't know. Buffalo, do you think? I mean, they're going to get a really good pick at 8th. Why would they want to trade that away? I guess depending on what a team is willing to give them. So if they can get 2 roster players to give up their pick, that might be worth it for Buffalo. So yeah. Wolf Beans, opinion on Stützle. I really can't give you one. I don't know enough about him. It seems to me that he's going to be he's the consensus 2nd or 3rd pick. For me, I think if I have 2nd pick, and it's LA, we know it's LA, I think LA takes him because you don't get a guy that size and that weight and that skill without drafting him or paying a lot for him in free agency. And you've got a guy similar to that already in Kopitar. So why not have Kopitar kind of mentor him for another couple of seasons? I think that's an ideal situation. So I think Byfield goes there. I don't know enough about Stützle. If I'm going to go from what the scouts say, he's going to be an awesome player. He should be. I doubt he's a bust. So he's anywhere from at least a legitimate NHLer to a possible superstar. But unfortunately, I don't know enough or watched enough of his videos to know. I'm knowing it weird, but I wasn't really watching the NHL situation last month. Could you please tell me what's new in the last few months? Oh my God. Venom, it's a lot to do here for a live stream with everybody's questions, but I would only say this: if you can, just go over my videos. I talk about everything that's going on. I do the news of the day. Usually every 2nd, at the most 3rd day, and that should keep you up to date. So just go look at my news of the day videos. Probably going back, it's probably a month and a half. I'm doing news of the day regularly, and that should catch you up to everything. But I can't really do it here. It's not fair to everybody else. But I appreciate that you might need catching up. But yeah, and it's not just to promote my videos, but if you look at my catalog, it should pretty much catch you up on everything. But for the details, like of the little stuff, news of the day will catch you up on that stuff. John, you're right. Players will be opting out. And that's why, to do previews of the series that are coming up, it's hard. I know I did it with Pittsburgh because I was excited and all that, but I'm probably going to do another one because of the fact that we don't know for sure who's going to be sitting out, and there's going to be players sitting out. They're going to be allowed to without any penalties or anything like that. So, yeah, we just don't know. Training camps should tell us who's in and who's out. Hey, David, glad to see you're back. Habs Hockey would do, by the way, welcome in, Habs Hockey. I would do Drouin for the 8th pick, but doubt that would happen. Yeah, I don't know. You've got 1st or 9th. So I don't know if you want to get rid of Drouin. I don't think I would for an 8th pick. No, I don't know. It's a good question, but I think Drouin holds a lot more to it. He's still got a lot of ways to go, I think, for his ceiling. I don't think he's hit it yet. I don't know if you want to give that up on the chance of that 8th pick. Hey, David's wishing John from Hot Take a belated birthday. I was on his late 2 in the morning live stream. I even gave him a super chat and wished him a happy birthday. He was feeling good. Shout out to David Arthur. All right, David, you got shouted out. Do I think Seattle's team will be put off another year? No, I don't. I don't. They're paying a lot of money. I don't think they want to be put off another year. You know, depending, maybe, you know, I never really thought of that, but maybe if there's still no fans in the stands, maybe they want to be put off another year. I don't know. Good question, I guess. Hadn't really thought about it. Off the top of my head, I would think no, but it's a good question. Is Tatar still in Montreal? Vitam, he sure as hell is. Yeah, he's still in Montreal. Any news on whether Max Domi will be playing? No, not yet. And I don't think we'll find out until training camps open. And then we're going to have to kind of find out. So, no, I don't know. I say no. I still say no. I don't think he's going to change his mind. I mean, look at the positive tests that have been happening. I don't know that he's going to feel comfortable enough. I wouldn't if I were him, but yeah. Do I think Montreal will have another wave of COVID, or do I think we will improve now? Well, I do think in the fall that we will, because it's a flu season anyway. We don't know if this thing is going to come back in the fall or not. I don't know if the first wave is over completely yet anyway. But we have done a really good job here in Montreal and gotten it down to, you know, to really acceptable levels. And I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I hope things get better really quickly, but I don't know. I got to make my 2 videos tonight. Okay, no problem, buddy. Good luck on the videos. And we should be here for another hour. I think, oh, no. Oh, okay, maybe that wasn't for me. David is wishing a happy 4th of July to the Americans on the live stream. Connecticut is the best state for COVID. Yeah, Connecticut is one of the good ones. Oddly enough, where's all the shy people in the room tonight, or what? Okay, how am I going to entertain you guys while I wait for some things here? Wolf, are you in Maine? Okay, so cool. So there's another American in the room that we know of. What are the crowds like at the celebrations out there in Maine? Because, you know, while numbers can be really good, if you get all these crowds and all that, you know, numbers can go up really easy, really fast, really fast. So I'd still be very careful until, you know, until there's some kind of a treatment or a vaccine or something, you know, until there's something out there. It kind of, you got to be careful. NHL saying, come on, everyone. He's got to make his video. Help out Rick. Any beer tonight, Rick? Buddy, no, not tonight. I'm not feeling it. I don't drink that often. So it's, you know, a few times a year, pretty much. That's it. Still get my SIGs in K-Town. Okay, what's K-Town? Are we talking, oh, the Reserve? Sports King, are you from Montreal? I don't know. I forget. Sometimes some people I just don't remember where you're from, and usually if I think I remember where you're from, I'm usually getting it wrong. So, are you in Montreal, Sports King? But yeah, I am not. Yeah, I do get my SIGs. Not as easy to get, and the prices went up. They doubled. Lots of forests, still some cities, though. Well, people, yes, people in crowds, they dumb. Yeah, no, they are. They're people just want to, you know, I guess it's summertime, so everybody just wants to get out and be social again. And I get it. I mean, I get it, but it's not safe, and I don't see how they're not getting it, that it's not safe yet for that. You know, I get the back to work. Yeah, stores have to start opening a little bit again and all that stuff. I get that because that's necessary. But going to a beach, kind of not necessary. There's things that, you know, aren't really necessary and they're dangerous right now. So if you're going to take chances, make sure they pay off or they're really important. But, yeah, to go swimming in a public pool, how, you know, it's not really necessary. Let me see now. Did I drink any beer on Canada Day? I actually did not. I did not. The Reserve. Yeah, K-Town is the Reserve. I know, I figured it out. I don't go there. I get somebody to bring them to me. I'm lucky. So yeah, but of course, because I'm not paying the prices for regular cigarettes. Besides, you know what? I've been smoking the ones I smoked for long enough, for so long, that I can't smoke regular cigarettes because they have so many chemicals and garbage in it. I choke. I don't like it. Hang on, I gotta drink something, and I had to cough. I was sort of hoping for Byfield because I feel we need some size up front. But if we get a superstar like Lafreniere, that'd be amazing. No, that's something interesting on that. Byfield is 6'4", a little over 200 pounds. Lafreniere is 6'1". He's somewhere around 200 pounds. But if you ask me, from what I can tell, Lafreniere plays the bigger game. Byfield, while he will use his size, he won't use it all the time, and he won't use it. He could use his size more. Whereas Lafreniere, a lot of times, will look for that big hit to make a big play. When he's in a frustrated mood, apparently he'll use that. He'll maybe even get a little dirty with making the hit. So no, Lafreniere is actually a more physical player than Byfield. So yeah. So that's why it doesn't bother me. Now, if I didn't have first pick and I had second, I would take Byfield also. I don't know if I would take Stützle if I was second. I would take Byfield, I think, because of his size and his talent, and his all-around game. He's got a decent defensive side to his game and everything. I think you don't get a player like that unless you take him right here. And yeah, so that's what I think. But yeah, Lafreniere plays a more physical game than Byfield. Habs hockey. Seeing Lerone opening something I see being horrible moving forward. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I hadn't heard anything about Lerone at all, actually. Wolf, why not stay inside? All power companies should give discounts to all people running ACs. I got 2 in my room. Yeah, there you go. Listen, yeah. Make some kind of contest for people to stay home. They might win a prize, something like that. They should have done something. The government should be doing something like that to encourage people to stay home when they don't need to be out. On Canada Day, there was a lot of people at a beach in Ottawa. Yeah, listen, Canada's not perfect. There's no doubt about it. And that's why I said I hope we manage to keep it that way because of those kind of things that happen. Yeah, that could lead to spikes here in Canada, and we could be back to having problems, just like in the States. I mean, it just takes something as simple as that. So yeah, that's why I did say that. I wonder when they will find a cure for this shit. Well, if you're talking cure, I personally don't think you'll ever see a cure for it. Hey, Johnny Golden, all right, another mod in the room, awesome. Yeah, I don't know that you'll see a cure for this, but I think you got possibility of good, solid treatments and maybe the vaccine. We'll have to see, but I don't know about a cure for this. I don't. I mean, they haven't cured the flu, or they haven't cured the cold. I don't see how they're going to find a cure for this. They haven't cured AIDS yet. They haven't cured this. They got treatments. They got vaccines for some things, but they don't have the cure. There's no, this could be sounding a little bit, what's the word? Conspiracy theory-ish, but there ain't no money in a cure, as they say. There's only money in treatments. So I think a lot of times it tends to be why you don't see cures for things, because there's no money in curing it, because then it's gone and you just developed everything, put that money to develop this, and that's why you see a lot of treatments. Habs hockey. I'm going to break my TV if Edmonton wins the lottery. LOL. I really think Edmonton's going to take Chicago. I really do. I think Connor McDavid, it's his year to grab that team by his, I want to say bootstraps, but skates. Doesn't work with skates. And pull that team along with him. And I think he can do it. I think there's enough talent there, and with Draisaitl, especially with him, I think they can do it, and I think they move past the qualifier. George Sesford, we will trade our 9-4, Ottawa's 5, to get Sanderson. I'm still expecting to get first, though. Happy 4th, Rick. Okay, but what are you giving Ottawa along with that 9? That's what I'm curious, because they're not giving you that 5th pick and taking your 9th pick without us giving up something big. And I'm just wondering what that big is and whether it's really worth giving up. That's the whole point. But you may be right. I don't really see that. But I mean, you could be right. If that's the case, we could get Drysdale that way. That's the guy I originally wanted. Hope beyond hope that he would still be there where Montreal might pick. And it doesn't look like that would be the case. But if they're going to get first overall pick, I don't want them taking Drysdale. I want them taking Lafreniere. But, yeah. Virus will be gone in 2 years. That's a very brave statement. That's a very brave statement that I cannot concur with because we don't know. Do I hope that's the case? Absolutely. Would love that to be the case. But we don't know. Rick, did I hear about the St. Louis Blues player tested positive for COVID? Yes. There was a St. Louis Blues player. So they sent him home, obviously, to self-isolate. And I think they did something. I don't know if they closed their facility or shut down for a few hours. Did something, but it's not gonna cause too much of an effect to anything. Players are testing positive. Players in phase 2 are going to be testing positive because they're out in the community. There's no tight bubble. In phase 3, there's not going to be a tight bubble, but they're going to insist that players go from home to rink, back home, back to rink, and don't go anywhere. And I heard talk that even if they need to go and have people go shopping for them and for the food and everything, just to keep them at home so they don't possibly contract this. So that's what I think you're going to see. That's what I personally believe. I don't know why, but I want to see the Sharks succeed, but it ain't happening without them trading Carlson back to Ottawa for a pick, and it ain't happening this year. That's for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm neither here nor there for the Sharks. I mean, I don't hate them. I don't particularly like them. I didn't drink much water today, and I had supper before I went on, so I'm thirsty. Let's see. So Habs Hockey saying, George, that might be a good trade. Both sides, for both sides. Ottawa gets the goalie, and extra Habs get best defenseman available. Yeah, I guess maybe if Ottawa was picking a 9th, they might pick up Askarov there. And you might trade down. But again, it's still, what do you have to give them to get their 5th pick? Sure, they'll trade down and say, okay, we'll get the goalie, we'll trade down. But you're giving them something good, or they're not doing it. Did I see Romanov kissing his girlfriend goodbye this morning? No, I didn't. So is he heading? Is he heading here? Because he's not playing. That we know he's not playing. But I was kind of hoping that he would start. I mean, head over here, start training here, and find a place to live and all that stuff. It would be great for him to be ready for whenever the season does start. Next season, that is, you know. Look at Matthews, for example, if he recovers from COVID-19. Well, you know, I haven't heard anything about Matthews, but I kind of expect that he's probably already recovered. It seems like the athletes, it's taking them a lot less time than the 2 weeks to recover if they get it. It's been, I don't know how long it's been, but Matthews is either, you know, close to being recovered or recovered. And it doesn't mean that he got sick either. They're not usually getting very sick from it, but they have it. Heard for JFed. Hey, JFed. Heard 4 tested positive. St. Louis practice facility was open to public day prior. I heard 1. I didn't hear about 4, but I heard 1. So I don't know how many. But yeah, St. Louis, there were some tests, positive tests. Yeah, they're up in the 30s with positive tests so far for the league since the start of phase 2. Oh, pics on her Instagram. Okay, I don't do Instagram, so I don't have it. Wait, now George, a few lower picks prospects. Oh, I see what you're saying. This is the trade, right? Um, yeah, I mean, still, I don't think that would be enough. I'll tell you why. I think if you're going to trade that guy, that pick down, you're getting somebody from the team, that a player, a top prospect, and I don't like the sound of when you say top prospects right now here, because there's guys that we want to keep. So, maybe you're trading a guy like Lehkonen, something like that, maybe a Ryan Poehling. You're giving up something of that quality to get them to do that. I really don't think for any other reason they're doing that. Ottawa Senators, David likes them now. Well, they're going to be a lot better. They are going to be a lot better. Do I like Blue Rodeo? Yeah, I sure do. I sure do. Are they from that? Where are they from? Is it Ottawa area? I thought. Let me see. I thought Blue Rodeo. They're from. Yeah, they're from Ontario. That's true. Yeah, no, I sure do. I do. They're getting old too. Been around a long time. Renegade man. Oh, I was almost going to say something else. Do I think they should do another offer sheet? I don't really. Specifically Sergachev. I did talk about it in a video today. Was it today? I don't think Tampa Bay can afford him. I think he may be right. I think he may be right that, it was with the compliance buyouts. I was talking about that in the last news of the day. They're not giving compliance buyouts. It's going to make a team like Tampa Bay really that much more up against the cap, so that maybe it's a possibility that Sergachev offer sheet could work. But the problem is, I think, because look, if you give Sergachev a not, you say, okay, well, we'll get him. We don't have to go crazy with the numbers. But if you do that, they could match it and then make other things happen to get the space, right? So it doesn't mean you're going to get him. But if you want to assure it almost, you got to really overpay him and give him way more term than we're going to be. Probably they're going to be giving right now. I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense, because the free agency and all that. We know now the cap. Well, it's not official. They're going to vote on it, but the cap is pretty much it's going to stay the same, 81.5 for the next 2 seasons. Then it goes up to 82.5, and then 83.5 before it might go up more with new TV deal and all that stuff. If that's the case, the free agents and all that, they're not going to be commanding. They're probably not going to be wanting to lock into anything long term, and because the money they're going to have to take is going to be a little lower. So if that's the case, and they're already having to take a little less, they're probably going to want to say, we'll sign for a couple of seasons, and maybe even stay with the team they're with already. And then in 2 years be back to the unrestricted free agent and give it a go then when salaries will start to come up, or the cap will start to come up. So you might see that. You might see a lot of these free agents and the RFAs signing for 2-3 years instead of seeing these 6, 7, 8 year contracts. And the money is going to have to be lower. They're going to have, I think next year they're talking about it's a 20% escrow cap. And 10% of next year's or this year's, I'm not sure which one, or both, the money that is owed to the players for their salary, 10% of that's going to be deferred, and it's going to be paid in the last 3 seasons of the new agreement. So they're juggling money around and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know. I just don't like offer sheets in general. I think you make enemies, or there's at least, bad feelings, and I don't know if that's a good thing down the road. And you're probably not going to get the guy that you're offer sheeting, because more than likely, if you want him, the team probably wants him. That's why you're offer sheeting him, is because he's good. And yeah, they're probably going to match. Would I trade Petrie for the rights of Sergachev and sign Bufflin? But it won't. See, you can't trade Petrie for Sergachev. Tampa Bay's up against the cap. Petrie is $5.5 million next season, and then he's a free agent. So either they want him for the 1 year and let him go, but then they're losing Sergachev again for nothing for 1 season of Petrie, or they're hoping to re-sign Petrie, but will they be able to afford him? But I kind of think Petrie's the guy that you hang on to. So I did it in my video today. I was talking about that Tatar might be the guy that goes after next season, that you might at the trade deadline next year move Tatar, but hang on to Petrie and have Petrie be the older, more experienced guy that you have as your number 1 defenseman to replace Weber. Weber's going to start sliding down on that, into second pairing and then eventually the third pairing. So, yeah, I don't think he's traded Petrie for Sergachev. I don't see that. And signing Byfuglien, I don't know. There's nobody knows whether Byfuglien is wanting to come back or not wanting to come back. So I don't know. And, at his age as well, we've already got Weber. We got Petrie, who's older. Do you want to have third top defenseman that's in the mid-30s? I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea. So Wolf is asking, Wolf Beans, that turd is asking, is Ilya Kovalchuk's chances of coming back still good? That's a good question. I would think they are. I would think they are. I mean, they talked about it. I don't know what would have changed exactly, except, who knows with the COVID. But, I mean, if they can get him at a lower price, especially, it might mean that they go after him instead of somebody else. I don't know. But I think it's probably pretty good. Yeah, I'm rubbing my wrist because I pulled something here. It's hurting like hell when I move it in a certain way. Sorry. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. I think this whole stoppage and everything that's going on and how it's going to start up, and I think it really it puts a lot of things kind of that you might have thought was going to happen, maybe not happening, and they're going in a different direction or something, When Alzner's contract's up, we should sign him to a $10 million contract for 7 years. All right. Yeah, that's not happening. If they had compliance buyouts, Alzner would be gone. That's number 1. So I think when Alzner can go, it's going to be great to get him off that cap hit. Excuse me, I ate shepherd's pie. It's coming back on me a little bit, gas-wise. Oh, see, that's what I mean. I can't lean on my wrist right now. And I don't ask me what I did. It happens sometimes. I don't know what I do, and then every now and then I get this. It'll be better like later on. I'll wake up, it'll be better later or tomorrow. Habs hockey. I'm losing my voice already. Sorry, guys, for the coughing. Habs hockey and keep him in the NHL. Oh, you're answering that? Yeah, no. No, Shay. Come on, guys. Offer Ottawa, Lecky, Kulak, Tatar, not Paling. Well, listen, I know we're all high on Paling, but Paling hasn't made it yet, so it's a possibility Paling could really be. And I'm not saying it's going to happen, so nobody come down on me and say that, oh, Rick said that Paling's a bust. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is Paling has not made it yet. It's still a possibility that he could be a bust down the road. So, I don't know. He's going to need another year in the AHL. I really believe Paling is not ready. He needs another season in the AHL. Maybe the whole season too. I think he might, and we'll see. So I don't know. One thing I'm kind of learning as I go, like the longer I'm doing this, is try not to get stuck on guys, and kind of understanding a little bit more about how things really do work. And yeah, Paling, maybe the worst thing that happened to him was that hat trick and that overtime, the shootout winner against Toronto, because it seems like everything's gone downhill since then. And I don't know. I've seen these things happen before. That's why. If we pick 9th, who will still be on the board? Oh, that one. I was reading it. I have to scroll for that one. Who will still be on the board for the Habs? Holtz really looks really great. Yeah, I think Holtz could be there. I think Sanderson could be there. I think Rossi could slip. I'm not sure. I have a feeling I've seen people saying that makes sense that Ottawa would pick him. He's in Ottawa 67. It's kind of making more sense that at 5th they take Rossi. So I think Rossi could go there. That would leave Drysdale either being picked by Detroit in 4th, which is a possibility, or he's probably going to go at 6th. So, yeah, I think that Holtz will be there, possibility. Sanderson, Perfetti could be there. Lundell should be there. And there's guys behind that maybe you like more than other people like. But those are the guys that I think are the really strong candidates, unless Montreal kind of has their own thing and we're all wrong about where they might be looking and might surprise us with a pick. But I kind of think one of those 4, there might be 1 or 2 others you could put in there. I know for Scotty Tuaki, Scotty's not here tonight, but he really likes Jack Quinn. I have some people that say he won't get picked that high, and some people say that he's going to surprise and he's going to get picked high. I don't know. So, yeah. One thing to say is that the fact that we can say all these players' names that could still be there in 9th place, that means 8 guys have gone ahead that should be better than these guys. And we can still list 5 or 6 guys that probably everybody has a list of 5 or 6 guys that you could put in there that the Habs could pick and say, wow, what a year for the first round, at least. What a year for draft picks. Potential. And remember, draft picks are all potential, even Lafreniere. Remember that. Any draft pick could potentially bust from the first down to the last one and could potentially be a superstar from the first down to the last one. Remember that always. They're just potential till they get, until they start, they're drafted and they get in the systems. Okay, trade Ryan Poehling to the Toronto Maple Leafs for Austin Matthews. You know what? Okay, Austin Matthews, David, he's got talent. I don't like him. I don't like looking at him, his face. Something bothers me about him, and it's not because he's a Toronto Maple Leaf. I think if he played for any other team, I would say the same thing. So, no. I don't like that. What do you guys think of that one? Does anybody want to see Austin Matthews on the Habs? Paul Gee, all right. It's another night for mods. I like that. How's it going, Paul? Yes, please, David. That would be nice. No, Paul. You could lose your mod for no. I wouldn't do that. You're allowed to like him. It's okay. I'm just bugging you, but I don't like. There's something about him. I just don't like him. I don't know. And honestly, when he came into the league, I thought, well, this kid's going to be great and all that. And then I saw him as, his face. I don't even think I saw a picture for his first 2 years at least. And then I saw his face and I was like, oh, I don't like this kid. So, yeah. Rangers better not get number 1. Can't stand the Rangers. Yeah, you see, everybody's got teams. I don't like them or dislike them particularly either way. So I do. One thing, they got a player I don't like, Brendan Lemieux. He's going to be one of those Hab killers, fighters, beating us up, like one of those kind of Dale Hunter type players that I just see every time we play the Rangers. He's going to be one of those Dale Hunter types that just seem to just do damage to us. And so because of that, I might stop liking the Rangers. But up to now, I haven't really disliked them. Hey, David, talk to you later. Have a good night if you don't make it back. And thanks for being here. And I'm going to email you as soon as that's out. Johnny, we have 3 picks in the second round. Yeah, I can see them moving at least one of those for something. I could see that. I think that's why they acquired 3 picks for the second round. But then again, the second round is actually going to have some really good players. So when you think about it, yeah, maybe they'll just pick 3 more solid prospects, J-Fed, I've seen Quinn as high as 10. Yeah, jumped up as of late. Yeah, because Quinn is like Jake Sanderson. The reason Jake Sanderson's had his late rise was because he had a really strong last part of the season, where I know for Sanderson he had 23 points in 27 games. And I think for Quinn, it's the same thing. He had a late rise. I think he had a really big increase in his goal production or something this season as well. Yeah. It's the mustache. J-Fed, yeah, it's the mustache. It's that pencil thin eye. It's, yeah, something about that mustache just doesn't do it for me. NHL Hockey News, all right, back. You made your 2 videos that quickly. Yeah, sometimes I can do that too. Not every time. Some days, and then some days the camera. The other day I did a video and the last minute wasn't there. I had paused, but the comeback from the pause, the beginning of it was there, and then the rest of it wasn't. It wasn't there. Don't know what happened to the camera. So things like that happen. But yeah, that's pretty quick for 2 videos, depending on how long. I tend to do longer videos these days. Don't know why. And funny story on that, I did a video the other day. I didn't like it. I didn't really like it, and playback. And it was 9 minutes and 46 seconds. So I'll be honest here. I was like a little disappointed. I could have added it 14 seconds longer. It allows mid-roll ads. It means that it pays a little bit better. So I'll be honest with you. But I didn't like the video. And because of that, I said, you know what? I'm going to redo it. I can do better, and I can get that extra 14 seconds. And why not, right? When you're that close to the 10. So I do it. It's better. Okay, yeah, I think let's check that one out. Guess the time on the second video. Exactly 9 minutes and 46 seconds. 2 videos in a row, the exact same amount of time. I didn't say the exact same things because it was ad-lib. I had what I wanted to talk about, but not a script. And I thought it was funny. I thought that was what a coincidence. But yeah, if you ever wonder why there's videos, well, I think YouTube prefers the over 10-minute videos because they can run more ads. For them, it's also more money. But I mean, that's the truth of it. But I find, anyway, I have trouble doing short videos. So most of my videos, even when I want them to come in under 10, don't seem to be able to get there. So sorry about it, guys, but that's just the way she is. Renegade Man, which player do you see Habs losing to Seattle during the expansion draft? Lehkonen seems the most likely. Yeah, I kind of talked about it in the video today. Although it didn't really show in my picks for the defenseman, the talk is kind of Mete. So I kind of think you're going to see Mete or Kulak be the guy that might go there. Lehkonen, I hope not. But yeah, Lehkonen could be a guy that could go there. But yeah, Mete, Kulak. That Mete's the guy that was rumored anyway, and it's hard to know, 2 seasons out anyway. But yeah, it's gonna be tough because it's really draconian. Like you're allowed 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, 1 goalie. That's it. That's all. The only good thing is that rookies are protected. There's certain things for other players, but we're going to lose somebody. Unless they make a deal. We could make a deal. Better off losing to this week. Oh, okay, wait. I'm going to scroll. Is that Johnny Golden? It looks like Johnny Golden's logo. Wait, just almost scrolled up. LaFleur said we'd be better off losing to Pittsburgh so we can get the higher pick. It's true. I saw that on Twitter today. Better for the team's future, and I agree with the Flower. I personally do agree with the Flower on that. I've been saying it for a little bit, but it was interesting to see that Guy Lafleur agrees with that. But admittedly, the players couldn't give a crap about the pick. The players could not. They're not thinking about the pick. Sure, it would be nice to get it, but they're out there to win. They're out there to show that they got what it takes, that they can do this, and we wouldn't want it any other way. So anybody who's thinking that the players would be in on this tank, nope, and neither would the coach. And the only place, maybe management is the only, and that's even a maybe. But there's no way players they care about who's the first pick and who gets them. Can we try that now? If Montreal loses in the qualifying round, then it's a different story. Then yes, they're going to want to get that first pick, but it changes obviously if they lose. But they're definitely going to try not to lose. Okay, D-Man, unfortunately, I see Mete getting taken unless he gets traded. Yeah, well, it seems like a lot of people agree with that about Mete. But, that was last season. A little bit of talk of it I've heard since the break. But, I mean, it's hard to really say. But I know a lot of people feel that, I'm talking people in the know, not just people like us, feel that Mete is going to be the guy that will get taken. But, they could trade him away before then, so you don't know. But I tend to think if it's going to be a guy like Mete, it could be Kulak, Mete. I think if depending on who's still here. J-Fed, Lapierre at 39 if he drops. Yeah, I think Lapierre could drop because of the injury, the concussion history that he's had in the last 24 months. So I think, or is it 12 months even, a shorter period of time. I think Lapierre could, but there have been a lot of players that have had concussion problems in junior and have gone on to really good careers, if not great careers, and it might not scare off certain teams. So it's hard to really tell, but I think Lapierre will drop to the later part of the first round or into the second round. I really do believe that. Hausner for Ghost. I know we'd lose that trade, but I mean, it shakes things up, LOL. Wouldn't that be nice if they would do that? Yeah. I'm Nub Newbie. All right. Haven't seen you in a bit. Unlikely Habs get first pick. Well, I wouldn't say unlikely. Well, okay. It's fair to say unlikely in that they only have a 12.5% chance like every other team. So they have a less likely chance than a likely chance to get them. Yes, you're right. So it's unlikely, but, it's also unlikely they win the Stanley Cup. So if they're not going to win the Stanley Cup, I'd rather they lose to Pittsburgh and at least get the 9th pick. That's how I'm looking at it. So, and there's no way to guarantee either end of that spectrum happening. So it is what it is. The players are going to make it what it is. They're going to either go out there and lose to Pittsburgh, not on purpose. They're going to either go out there and beat Pittsburgh. And if they do beat Pittsburgh, that would be on purpose because that's what they want to do. And then who knows how far they can go from there if they do beat Pittsburgh. I kind of think that they could beat Pittsburgh. I don't think they will, but I completely think that it could happen. So I'm saying here I don't think they will, but if they do, I'm not going to be shocked by it. Not at all, because I can see a lot of scenarios where that could happen. I really could, and I just, I don't know if it's the best thing for them. That's all. Do I think KK right now is a bust or should give him more time to develop? Oof, I can't believe they passed Brady Tkachuk for him. Well, I don't think KK's a bust at all. First of all, he's only 20. I don't think any player, I don't think it's fair to say to any player at 20 years old that you're a bust. I really don't think it's fair at 20 years old. So no, I don't think he's a bust. I was a Brady Tkachuk guy when the draft came. But I don't think Tkachuk, KK's a bust. Look at my video today. Again, referring back to that video, which is doing fantastic, by the way. I knew it would be good subject matter, but I didn't think I nailed it very good. I honestly, if you ask me that video, the last one, looking at the lineup and get Lafreniere for the next 3-4 years, it was a great idea. I really like the idea. I didn't think I nailed it, but I thought I did good enough to put it out. And I'm really shocked by this. Seems like it's getting good reviews, and the views, I didn't think it would get that many. But I talked about just today about KK and being a bust and Paling and all that, and I'm getting lost in what I was about to say because I got sidetracked on my views. And I don't want to. Anyway, KK's not a bust. I think KK. Yeah, this is what I was going to say. I think KK is still our future second line center. Last year, I thought he'd be a first line, but Suzuki, I feel is going to be a better center than KK. A little bit. I think it's going to be one. Maybe you say 1A, 1B. But I still think it's going to be Suzuki first line, KK second line. But no, he is not a bust. And neither is Poehling. By any chance is Ryan Poehling a bust. When I said earlier, I said he could turn out to be, but I mean, he's 21. He's not a bust at 21. Neil, you're going to have to wait till after the live stream. Do I see Nick Suzuki be number one center? Yes. I'd like to know, but Suzuki has more offense. And, oh, well, I'm going to tell anybody asking me. So Renegade Man, I did a video that went out, I want to say around 2:30 this afternoon. And it was exactly about that. What if we get Lafreniere? So I go through the lineups. And, yes, I put Suzuki next season as the number one center. And I think I put him number one right. If we get Lafreniere, he's number one. Because remember, with Lafreniere on his wing, Lafreniere is also going to lift Suzuki a bit. He's that good, Lafreniere, even in his first season, I think. Makes Suzuki even that much better. So, yeah, Suzuki's the number one center. Now, Danault is going to be your number two center for probably another couple of seasons before there has to be a decision on Danault. I don't see KK displacing Danault for at least 2 seasons, personally. And then there's a decision to be made on Danault, on Gallagher. There's a few decisions, and I don't think I fully covered them because it's really in-depth, and you got to start figuring out trades and blah, blah, blah. I said in the video I'm not getting into that based on players that are here, but I did say there's going to be a decision to come for Danault and Gallagher and where they're going to end up. Because if you look at it, we got a lot of guys coming up. If some of these guys mature and make the team, there's not enough room. There's just not enough room, literally. So players will have to move. And in the salary cap system, it's designed that way. Players come in and move along until you can no longer afford them, and then you have to get rid of them and trade them. And that's what happens. And unfortunately, Danault and Gallagher are going to kind of be in that position in the next few years, and decisions are going to have to be made on whether or not they're re-signed or traded or whatever what's to do with them. Habs Hockey, Lafreniere, KK, Caulfield. That's a scary future first line. See, I see it with Suzuki in there, not KK. I see Lafreniere, Suzuki, and Caulfield down the road, not for, I'm going to say 3 seasons. In 3 seasons, I see that. Maybe it will be KK, but it's definitely going to be one of the two. So to go back to, is KK a bust? There's no way KK is a bust. And I hope that we're going to be able to look back and say, in the long run, KK was the better pick over Brady Tkachuk. And it might not be that way. It might be the other way around, but I'm hoping it'll be that way. Taylor Hall, if Arizona loses, they're locked to win number 1 pick, but I'm hoping Habs win first pick if they lose to Pittsburgh. I don't know if anybody's a lock. I think everybody has the exact same chance to win that pick. Everyone has the same percentage of chance to win the pick. I don't see anybody being a lock. If the season is canceled, does the Phase 1 lottery stand and we have that Phase 2? Yeah, okay, this is how that works. So I'm glad you asked that, because a lot of people, honestly, I didn't know till just probably last week. So say they, for whatever reason, they don't finish. At whatever point, they don't finish. So how does that stand? What team, is it the qualifying losers? Or does that change? So that means if the qualifying round is done, in the first round, the teams are hit with COVID, they got to cancel. That's it. Season's done. Do the qualifying round losers, are they the teams that are being drawn for that first pick? Or, and this is actually how it is, it's not the qualifying losers. The teams that were in those positions out of the playoffs when the play was halted, so all the teams that were not in the playoffs, the cutoff lines at that time, Montreal's included there, those are the teams that will then be in the draw for that first pick. So even if this happens, Montreal will be in the draw for the first pick either way. So there'll be a couple of different teams, But Montreal will be one of the teams that are in the draw either way, whether they finish the season or don't. I know that was confusing. I didn't say it clear enough, but I hope you guys got that. Suzuki, Lafreniere, and Caulfield is a great line. I think so. Hey, Rodney, I haven't seen you in a while. Okay, who's got it to go? Somebody said you got to go. There's my dog. Hey, NHL. Ray is saying goodnight. Take her easy, buddy. Yeah, I'm going to be I'm on for another 25 minutes. Time to move Price out. Not, I don't think just yet, but I mean, it could be. It's a possibility, I think, down the road. Do I remember how good Poehling was doing before he got hurt? He was really playing good. Well, he was looking good. I don't know. We don't have really – it was kind of in exhibition type stuff, right, and camp. So we don't really know. But I still don't think he's ready yet. And I think he's going to spend a good part of this next season in the AHL. But if you look at my video, I have him being up the following season and starting at the fourth-line center and working his way up to the third-line center. Once Deneau is not here anymore, if that's the case, it might not be. I don't want to give away my video. But if that's the case, then I'd see Poehling being that guy to take over third-line center. Because I can see Poehling being a Deneau type of a center where he can play good defense, shut down other teams, and still contribute solidly in the offensive department. And, yeah, being that type of a third-line center. And remember also, today, in the game today, your third-line guy isn't really a shutdown guy that's defense, and doesn't really contribute much to the offense. Your third-line guy is usually a two-way player, can put in some points, and can shut down the other team's best lines as well. Do you remember how good Poehling was doing before? Yeah, I read that. I think Perfetti and Quinn are best available at 9. It's a possibility. We'll see who's there. I'm not necessarily sold on Quinn personally, but I haven't seen a lot of them, so I know there are a lot of people are. But, yeah, it's a possibility. J-Fed, every draft lottery, Hall has been in his team. Won Lotto. Edmonton 3 times, New Jersey 1. Well, it was a joke. Oh, I see why you're saying that then. That's why you're saying Arizona is going to get it. Okay. Well, you know, I doubt that that's a real thing. At some point, even if it seems like it's a thing, it's going to not be a thing and it won't happen. So we shall see. I remember Johnny Golden. Too bad Suzuki took his spot, which we don't mind. Okay. That wasn't really for me to read. Duncan, Idaho. Duncan, Idaho. Welcome in. I don't know that I've ever seen you out here before. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Kachuk's career plus-minus so far is the bust right now. He's a minus 27, if I'm not mistaken. But you got to take into account the team he's playing on. So, you know, he might still be a minus player, but he might not be nearly as bad in the minus department. Listen, he's a good player. I just don't like his... He's kind of cheap and dirty, and I don't really like that. But he's talented, there's no doubt. And I would think that minus has a lot to do with being in Ottawa. Oh, boy. Aside from the last 2 years of the draft, in your opinion, what went wrong when it comes to our first-round picks? You know what? Honestly, I think a lot to do with development. A lot to do with development. Where Joel Bouchard is the coach now on the AHL team, the guy that was there the previous 5 years developed nobody. You could say he didn't get the players, but to say nobody in the 5 or 6, however many years he was there, that nobody really he developed, I don't buy that. So I would think a lot of that has to do with development and where they picked at. You weren't getting high picks. The only high pick was Galchenyuk. Carey Price, which was a high pick. You can't argue on that one. And the rest of them were mostly in the high teens and the low 20s. And, yeah, you weren't getting the right spot to pick from. And they weren't developing either. So I'm not saying anybody they picked in those times you're talking about were superstars in the making, but they were some NHLers there. that probably didn't make it because of Sylvain Lefebvre. Sylvain Lefebvre, is that who the coach was? He just didn't develop anybody at all. Zachary, welcome back, buddy. I'm Nub Newbie. Would you bring back PK when he is a free agent? I guess depending what kind of term, how he's been playing, what kind of term and money he's looking for. I don't know. I don't think it was a good fit here. Yeah, I mean, it was and it wasn't. And depending on who's still on the team, I don't think he gets along with Gallagher. If Gallagher is the captain of the team, I don't think that's an option. I don't think he would do that. But I mean, if the situation is right and he's been playing well and he's affordable, I mean, I don't see why not. I liked Subban when he was here. I thought his best years were here. So far, his best years were when he was here. And, yeah. Johnny Golden, how these young players do has a lot to do with how the coach uses them. Well, this is true. But, I mean, this is true for any era, any team. You know, how the coach uses you has a lot. Although there's great players that don't necessarily get the chance, and then their play kind of dictates that they do get a chance. So, yeah, you're right. Destructo Craft. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Can't say that I've seen you. Well, if you're asking me, should you subscribe? Naturally, I'm going to say yes, but subscribe if you like what you're seeing. If you don't, I wouldn't blame you. I mean, I wouldn't expect somebody who's not enjoying it to subscribe. But I mean, if you like what you're seeing, then subscribe. Yeah, sure, obviously. Yeah, of course. Can Romanov even play in the playoffs? No, Romanov cannot play. They've already decided that players. There's Romanov. There's Kipris. I remember the guy in Minnesota, and Sorokin from the Islanders. Those three guys got signed the same way, and they will not be allowed to play. No. Chris Bergeron says never bring back PK. I really don't think that is going to be a case that they will bring him back. And Johnny Golden's agreeing, no way to PK. You started something with that PK talk. Captain America, bring PK back so Price and PK can bring the cup back together. Well, Captain America likes it. Chara sucks. I think pretty much everybody in this room is going to agree with that. Chara sucks. We need to throw everything to pull Pierre-Luc Dubois from Columbus next season. You know, it's anytime you've got to throw everything at a team to get one guy, you're screwing your team with creating holes. Then it wasn't worth getting the guy because you had to dismantle your team to do it. So, no, I don't really agree with that. Honestly, I don't. Is my favorite team the Bruins? Yeah, no, not really. Definitely not. Shrek, Chara really sucks. He really sucks. What is the future of Marc Bergevin for the Habs? I feel like Jeff Molson will never get rid of him if we have another lost season again. Well, I would think no. I mean, if he doesn't start to get this team to the playoffs, he can't be here inevitably just till the end of time. No, his shelf life is going to come into play. But I don't know what his future is, depending on how the team does. And it's been enough years that they're not in the playoffs that whether they make the playoffs or not this year, that's different. But he's going to have to get them to the playoffs next year, I think. We would be fine. I don't know. It depends on what you've got to give up to get a player, right? So if you're making a hole on defense and a hole on one of the wings, to get a guy like Pierre-Luc Dubois, it doesn't really, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It's the same thing. It just, you're not farther advanced. You're staying put. You're just treading water. So I don't know. What is that? Chat's favorite. Who's Chat? Chara's favorite. I don't know. No, I'm not sure who you're talking about. Who's Chat? What is your second favorite team? I've been asked that a lot on here, and I don't really have one. I am a Habs fan. That's my first team. That's not my only team. I enjoy other teams. I don't really have a second favorite necessarily. I make a cop out by saying the Canucks, but I don't think them in particular over anybody else either. So, no, I'm a Habs fan, and then there's some teams I really don't like, and the rest of the teams, they're okay. Maybe Mike Ribeiro should be our GM. Okay, LOL, joke. Yeah, interesting story there about Ribeiro wanting to coach here. Kind of out of the blue. Does he have coaching experience? I don't know. And the way he left and some of the things that happened in his career, or to him personally, I don't know. That's the answer here in Montreal. What is my all-time best Habs team? Oh boy. Oh boy. That's hard to answer. Guy Lafleur's on it. There's that's something probably left best for a video for me to do. It's a little bit too much to think about. I'm gonna forget somebody inevitably for sure. But I could just say Guy Lafleur's on it. And your two goalies would definitely be Patrick Waugh and Ken Dryden, I would think. And maybe having a third would be Carey Price. But I would think my two goalies would be Patrick Waugh and Ken Dryden. Defense would have Larry, Serge Savard, and Guy Lapointe, the big three for sure. Doug Harvey, yeah, I could probably do it, but again, like somebody was asking me to do something similar. It's not fair to everybody for me to sit here and do a video kind of on here. But that's a good idea for a video. That really is. It's been done by the professionals, but maybe I'd have a few different players in there that might not be so mainstream. So yeah, it's actually a good idea for a video. It's a tough off season this year for free agency. Yeah. Teams losing dollars with COVID. I don't see many owners up to losing dollars. Plus, maybe no fans for maybe 1-2 seasons. Yeah, well, this is what I was saying. Why it's going to be a weird UFA season, and even for the RFAs, I don't think you're going to see them signing anybody. You're not going to see these 6, 7, 8 year contracts. You're not going to see these ridiculous $8, $9, $10 million numbers. You're going to have to see shorter terms and lower numbers. And then that way, shorter terms help the owners have players on and lower numbers. And then the shorter terms in the long run, so then the player can go, in 2 years instead of this year, get his money and contract that he's looking for. And that's what's going to have to be, I think. Will the Seattle team be named the Chaz? How about Seattle Riot, Seattle Vandals? Well, you know what? They may just say Seattle on their shirt, and they'll be the Seattles because they have a really big reluctance to come up with a name or to decide on one. They're saying it's to do with trademarks and stuff like that. We'll see. But I don't know if it was the hockey guy's joke or somebody else made that joke, but they could come out as the Seattles. And that's all that says on their jersey, Seattle. If we pick 9th, we traded to Ottawa for their 5th, what would we have to add? We have 14 picks and cap space to offer. No. See, that's the thing. If Ottawa's trading down, giving you the 5th, and they're going to take your 9th, they're taking your 9th and draft picks. They're taking your 9th not and prospect. They're taking your 9th, and they want something in return, and they probably want a roster player of some sort, somebody they can plug into their lineup who's not going to cost them a ton and who's going to give them something in return. So, yeah, it's a costly affair to trade up. So, and why would a team trade down? A team would trade down to get something. So, and considering in 5th, they're probably giving up Jamie Drysdale, who's probably is as close to a sure thing as you can have, really, besides Lafreniere. I don't see why they would do that and not really be having to give him something really good for that. So they'd be demanding something for sure. And then is it worth it or not? 12.5% chance at Lafreniere or playoffs. Right. That's kind of the it's not a choice, but it's the options that are there. It's either they're going to get that shot at Lafreniere or they're going to be in the playoffs. One of the two. It would suck if we beat the Penguins but lose to the Flyers. Well, you see, this is the thing. If they're going to beat the Penguins, you kind of want them to win the cup and go all the way, or it's not really worth it in the long run because of the fact that they're going to lose a really good draft pick. But as I said earlier as well, that the players don't care about that. Players don't care. The players only see that they have a shot to make the playoffs, and anything can happen, and win, and try as hard as we can, and that's the only way I want them playing. And they don't care about Lafreniere right now. Now, if they lose to Pittsburgh, yeah, that becomes different. Then it's like, oh God, let's hope we get that number 1 pick, because now it means something because they've already their shot at the playoffs and all that's gone. The hockey guy said Seattle Jays. Yeah, he's had a few things. I know he's pretty frustrated with it. Do you wonder if Patrick Roy will ever be a part of the Habs organization? Maybe he will be part of the Quebec Nordiques if they return. Yeah, I don't know. I think I love Patrick Roy, but I think he has a bit of an ego, and I think he has a bit of a stubbornness, and it's not going to work with everybody that he wants to work with. That's not going to actually work. He'll find a spot, he'll find a team maybe, but it's not going to be Montreal. I just don't see it. I love PK, but Seattle needs him the most. Yeah, he could end up in Seattle. Honestly, he could. He could end up there. It would be a big contract, really, that if they would take it. But you never know. They may make a deal and take it, and they may need it. PK could help them reach the floor of the cap, maybe, or there could be a reason that they would take them other than that. But at $9 million, I don't know. It's a big cap hit to take, possibly. The hockey guy. Oh, I read that. I heard Flyers fans are mean. Flyers fans can be mean, yes. The Philadelphia is not really. They call it the city of brotherly love. It's not really. It's not really. Seattle Kraken was leaked, but was a while ago. Yeah, Seattle Kraken. Yeah, I don't know if they'll go with that. I kind of like it, but I don't know if they're going to go with that. But they're really keeping it to the last minute, and I don't know if they're going to ever come up with a name, and I don't know what the real reason is why not. But they are saying it's like trademark problems or something to do along those lines. Alsner and the 9th pick for the 5th from Ottawa. Alsner, yeah, that's what they want. I love that. Wouldn't that be awesome? U.S. national team is my second favorite team. Well, listen, that's a good program they have there. That's a good program. Where do I think the salary cap will be in 2 years' time frame if no fans are allowed to attend games? Well, we kind of know where it's going to be. They're working on that now in this agreement that they're going to announce when they get it done. Because if they don't get this done, there won't be any games anyway. But yeah, next 2 seasons, so that's next year and the season after, $81.5 million. The season after that, $82.5 million. That's sign language. And the year after that, $83.5 million. That's pretty much looks like that's what it's going to be. Then there should be a new deal for TV, and things hopefully in 4 years will be somewhat back to normal. And you can look and say that that's when the cap should start to go up in significant numbers. But yeah, it looks like we're going to have a very flat cap for the next 4 years. Do I think we're going to add an ECHL team? I do. Again, depending on how, whether fans can be in the stands. If fans can't be in the stands for the next 5 years, no. Because I don't see the ECHL being, I don't see how they're going to survive. If they do, yeah, I think they're really working very strongly on this team, a team in Trois-Rivières. It looks really good that there'll be a team in Trois-Rivières ECHL for that the Habs belong. When things start to get normal, I think that's what's going to happen. I saw some stuff about it, and there's some kind of an agreement almost in place already. It would be a miracle if Seattle takes Alzner. Yeah, it would be a miracle. It would be good for the Habs. Yeah, it's not happening. It was a joke. He was just joking. But it would be great. Zachary's they're saying they are liars. I'm not sure what we're talking about there, Zachary. Sorry, I apologize if I blanked out on that thread of the conversation. I apologize. Johnny, when can trades happen? Does the season have to be finalized? Yes, there will be no trades till the season's over. There's no trades. That's why if the draft was going to be before all this, remember they were saying there wouldn't be any trades because they're not having trades till after the play. 100 million. Not sure to 100 million either. So cap ain't going up anytime soon. Not in any significant way. Not for the next 2 seasons. And then again, only $1 million and $1 million after that. So no, not in any significant way, no. Wonder if Aho bought a new car this week. Yeah, well, he can afford a new car, a new house, and a new island, and a new, yeah. Shrek, I am surprised that the qualifying round isn't best of 3 and playoffs being best of 5. Yeah, I could see maybe the qualifier being best of 3, but the players were reluctant because it's too easy for a team or a goalie or something like that to steal a best of 3 series. It's a little harder with a best of 5. And I think just for the integrity of this playoffs, they had to stay with best of 7 for the actual playoffs. I'm Nub Newbie. Which Habs jersey would you retire next? Toe Blake, number 6. Zachary Candido, the Flyers. I say that easily because I did a video probably about a year ago now about exactly that, about retiring Toe Blake's number 6. So if you want to check it out, it's in there. It's in my catalog. But yeah, that's who it would be. And interesting, Shrek says I would retire 31, but I know he's joking. I did a video for the members, the NHL career of Jeff Hackett, and I didn't realize Hackett's number was 31. Hackett was 31 as well. Charlie McGuire. Now, did I acknowledge you? If I haven't, welcome in. I like that name. I like if that's your real name or it's a made-up name. I like the ring. It's got a nice ring to it. Should the Habs go for Taylor Hall when free agency eventually comes? I feel not, personally. I don't know. I don't think so. Again, depending on the term and the money, but he wants big money and he wants long term. Whether he'll get it right now, I don't know, but that's true. But I can see players like Taylor Hall, the big free agents. There's not a lot of them right now. I can see them re-sign with their teams they are with now because, you want to go to a new team. Who's going to really reach out for you for 2 seasons? So I don't know. Their options might be limited. Are Claude Julien's days numbered? Well, I think he's on a leash of some length, I would think, at this point. Duncan, Idaho. I was shocked by Ribeiro's statement this week. Didn't see that coming at all. Oh, regarding Sacco, I didn't see that part. Sorry. I was talking about being coaching the Habs, that he was a selfish player. Did he say that about Sacco Koivu, that Sacco Koivu was a selfish player? Never heard that before. Oh, that sounds like bitterness to me for some reason, doesn't it? Ribeiro should be coach. Right now, we'd win the cup. I agree with you, Shrek. Not for my life do I agree with that. Go for Krug in free agency. That's an actual good option. At least Krug would be good. He might be pricey and all that. I don't know. And I can see because of all this, Krug might stay in Boston for a couple of seasons again because of the free agency. It's a possibility. Tony Ribeiro, Montana. Tony Montana. Yeah, that's a good one for him. How is my dog? My dog is asleep under my desk. She's doing great. Actually, absolutely great. Thanks for asking about her. She was barking just before. J-Fed, I've been listening to you watching fireworks in Washington. Not a bad Saturday night. No, I haven't been watching any fireworks. And I wouldn't be going out to watch any fireworks anywhere. How surprised were you when Cole Caulfield was available at number 15? Very. Flyers fans were pissed they took Cam York, who I thought the Habs would take. Yeah, I mean, Cam York was an option there. Yeah, I was, I mean, like every other Habs fan, we were just shocked that he was still there. Habs never expected Caulfield to be available at 15. No, I want to say they didn't really expect. I think they had an idea because they interviewed him. I think they had an idea that because of his size, he might drop. And just they interviewed him just to cover it, just in case. And I think that they were not shocked that he dropped, but they were very pleasantly surprised that he was there. Keith Kincaid is only 31? Keith Kincaid is only 31? Isn't that a little young to have lost your game so quickly? I thought he was older than that. I really thought Kincaid was like 34. Oh, we're after wow, we're still going strong. Taylor Hall is too injury prone. He's not worth it if he gets hurt. Well, this is one of the reasons why I'm not all sold on Taylor Hall. He's a little bit injury prone. And honestly, if you average out his numbers, he gets you 50, what was it, like 57, 58 points average a season. That's it. He's not really a 78-point player. He's a 50-odd point player. It's a pretty nice, massive stream. Well, 20. It's not too bad. We're getting there. 20 people in the room at once. I used to, when I first started out, I was getting 30, 40 people. I don't know what happened with the way YouTube was promoting my stuff, but it's starting to come back. It's nice to see starting getting people in the room. So it's really nice to see that's happening. I'm just wondering where Fedge is tonight. It's very unusual on a Saturday night that Fedge didn't come into the room. I'm thinking about him. The last time he didn't show up, I wasn't thinking about it, and I didn't realize it. And this time people can tell him. I said, I wonder where Fedge is. Okay. Well, thank you, Julian. I appreciate it. I try. Not every time is it easy to have the energy. I'm getting older, so we're at an hour and a half. An hour and a half of talking tires you out. I tell you, I wouldn't have thought, but it does tire you out. So, yeah, I appreciate that you're enjoying. When do I think Caulfield will start playing for the Habs? Well, not next season because he's going to be in college still. I kind of think the season after that, he's going to spend some time in the AHL. So the earliest is sometime during the 2021-22 season. And I really think it'll probably be the 2022-23 season where he'll be here and maybe having played a little bit the year before on a call-up or something like that. And then I think we'll see him full-time 22, 23? Where was I? You're the Joe Rogan of hockey podcast. Oh my God, don't. I appreciate that. And I know that's actually a really good compliment. I appreciate that. And I don't dislike Joe Rogan. I used to listen to Joe Rogan, watch him all the time. But Joe Rogan kind of pissed me off a little bit in the fact that he's moving his stuff over to Spotify exclusively, and I'm not doing Spotify. And I used to enjoy watching Joe Rogan a lot, and I've since he announced that I haven't hardly watched his show, but I do appreciate that. That's really nice. It's not true. I wish it were true. I really do, but I appreciate that you're enjoying my. It's not a podcast though, by the way. This is a live stream. It's a little different. I do have a podcast that I'd like to get started, but I don't want to do it alone. I started it by myself. It's not as fun, and it's a lot harder to do. And I'm looking for a podcast partner who's local in Montreal. So anybody wants to apply, my email is in the description. You can always shoot me off an email, and we can go from there. Okay, I know I'm missing a lot of. We're coming near the end. I'm getting tired, and I'm surprised how many people are still here. I don't want to stop. I would rather go after Krug or Pietrangelo. I don't think we can afford Pietrangelo. Not Taylor Hall because they have too many left wings. Yeah. Pietrangelo, I don't see him leaving St. Louis right now, and geez, he's going to be expensive. Did I hear the Habs are, Vince Dunn, they're interested. Apparently, what's a rumor anyway? Vince Dunn. I wonder if anything will ever come out of Bergevin's extended trip to Colorado in February to visit his daughter in college. You know, the funny thing about that, because I see you have the quotes, I thought it was that too 2 seasons ago when he went there. No, he really has a daughter in Colorado. This is not a joke. He has a daughter in Colorado, and he went there to visit her, and there's nothing more to that story. That's the actual truth. Duncan, Idaho, thank you, buddy, if you're still here. Thank you. I appreciate that you were here. I hadn't seen you before. Hopefully we'll see you again, and I hope you had a good time. I know he's a Leafs fan. Do you like Steve Dangle? I do and I don't. He does all Leafs mostly, so, I'll watch a little bit of Steve Dangle. I like his energy. I think he's entertaining. He's kind of the guy I would like to be if I was doing this, but I don't have the ability. But I always thought I would like to do that kind of a thing, but it's not me at all. But yeah, I mean, he's okay. I follow him on Twitter, and I subscribe to his YouTube channel. I follow and watch a lot of guys, but I don't watch a lot of people's, how do I put it? I have a lot of other hockey creators that I do watch, but I don't watch all of their videos. The only one guy that I do that to now is Hockey Guy. The next guy to that is Scotty2 Hockey. And then after that, honestly, I watch here and there just to see what people are doing. I do get some ideas that way, but it's kind of like the Hockey Guy says. He doesn't watch anybody. He does watch Steve Dangle. They're kind of friends now. But he doesn't watch too many other creators, hockey creators, because he doesn't want to feel like he's doing the same thing somebody else is doing. Did he steal it from them? Did he not? He doesn't want that. So he doesn't do that to himself. I'm starting to watch a little less. So some of you guys out there, if you're creators, I apologize. But because of the same thing, I'm finding actually I'm having better ideas and being more confident in my ideas than when I'm watching everybody else, and then, oh, well, they did it. I don't know. Am I going to do it as good as them? Am I going to have my own angle on it? Like, it makes me second guess myself a little bit, I think. So who knows, The ideas sometimes pop into the head. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes they're not. I'm starting to learn a bit now. I can tell how a video might do. Like the video today, I did 2 today. One was the year in review, the season in review for the 1975-76 season, where Montreal won a Stanley Cup. I knew that one wasn't going to be a big video. Maybe it'll get 100 views over the first couple of weeks. It's not going to be a big video. Then I did I had the idea for the Lafreniere a couple days ago. Well, what if we do get Lafreniere? What would the lineup look like for the next season and the immediate seasons following? And I knew that one would be a good one. I knew that one should be very interesting to people, but it could also be very clickbaity, and I didn't really want it to be clickbaity. So I took a little extra time, and that's why I worry about I did a good enough job or not, because I don't want people to think that that's clickbaiting. That it sort of is, in that it's Lafreniere and it's going to be very popular. I know people are going to click on it because it's speculation and everyone likes that. So in a way, it's that, but I also don't want it to be clickbaity, and you click on it and go, well, that was just stupid, because then that's clickbait. So I hope I managed it. I don't know. I'm sort of with it. I didn't have time to do another one, and I thought it was good enough to go out, and it's me, and yeah, so I don't want to be too polished either. So yeah, I don't know. I'm tired. Okay, guys, I'm tired. I'm gonna call it here. Bye, Zachary. Do I like Dadonov as a free agent? I do. Depending on what kind of deal, like term and money, Dadonov could be a pretty good player. Yeah, I do like Dadonov, but he's rumored to go somewhere, and I can't remember. There was a solid rumor on him going somewhere. I don't know enough about Ryan Graves for them to go to talk about that. Colton Parayko would be nice, but I don't think he's coming here. I don't think St. Louis has given up on him. Would I trade Domi to Buffalo for Montour? Oh, I was asked this question. And they're 8th. We'd be picking 8th and 9th. Montour is pretty good, plus 13 on the average team. Yeah. Domi. Wait, we would give Domi for Montour, and they're 8th? No, that's not happening. Come on. I can't see that. Sorry. No, I don't think, but that's not fair to Buffalo. I don't see how Buffalo would do that. Honestly, I don't. Okay, my voice is going. I'm going to call it a night here. I want to thank you guys while there's still 15. Thank you so much, everybody. This was a really fun night. There were a lot of people, a lot of questions. It was going left and right. So that was a lot of fun. I want to thank you guys for giving me a fun night. Hopefully, I've entertained you. And we'll see you next Saturday. Next Saturday, normal, 8:05. I do the 8:05 because notifications go out. If you do it, especially 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, a lot of videos coming out. Notifications might go out, might not. So if you're wondering, that's why I do that. But thanks, everybody, for being here. Super appreciate it. Hope to see you next week. There'll be videos coming out all week long, so don't worry. And yeah, thank you. Please stay safe out there. Wear that mask. It's really important, especially when you're out. You know, when you're out and there's people all around you, it's really important. Please do that so that you can be back here for the next live stream and to watch those videos. And yeah, that's it. So I'm not going to babble too long this time. Usually I'll stay here for 5 minutes and do this. I'm not going to do that today. So thanks again, everybody, for being in here. Peace out. Have a great rest of the night, and I'm going to see you in the videos. Bye, y'all.